Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
our fan-based games. Yeah.
And we are back.
We're back.
For another episode. But you know what? This one's special.
This is real special.
It is special.
Special.
Because
very special.
during the month of May,
yes.
our country celebrates Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yes.
And so we're going to celebrate.
Yeah, because if we don't do this, come on. We got to.
Yeah.
That's what OFPG is all about, y'all.
Diversity and inclusion for people of color and our Asian and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters. Hey, they got melanin too.
Yeah, they coming through.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I should say melanin.
Yes. Melanin. Yes.
So we're going to get into the episode because we got some really great people to introduce you to or just
we
present
do.
to you.
Yes,
Because you probably know most of them.
You know a few.
If you don't, you're going to learn about some new people who are
They
in
all
this hobby.
family. That's
all right.
Family, y'all.
So they are in the board game hobby, and we can't wait for you to hear from them. But before we do that, here's a word from our sponsor.
KTBG, let's go!
Kids Table Board Gaming. Making casual games for the serious gamers and serious games for the casual gamers. Publisher of Fossilis, Wreck Raiders, Haunt the House, their upcoming game Creature Comforts, and many, many more. Visit kidstablebg.com to see a complete catalog. Okay,
Yeah.
we're back.
Hey, you know, they sent us some little mini expansions for Fossilis.
Yes.
So I think next time we're going to talk about those because there's some real cool ones.
Well, KTBG knows how much we love Fossilis.
We got some more joy with Fossilis. Yeah.
More stuff to play with.
Yeah. All right. So is it me?
No, now it's time to get into the weight loss journey.
Want to do that. Good news, y'all. Good news.
Because you know last week.
Yeah.
We didn't have a good week last week.
Now, we had a viewer making like a long email saying that every time they see our show, we're devastated. Our Starla's devastated because she didn't do good on the weight loss. Well, y'all need to be watching today because we did good.
We did good. It wasn't extraordinary, but it was good. And I mean, I'm happy that Vera emailed us and everything. But I'm sorry that that's the only shows he sees. Because we usually have a pretty good, response. But this week.
And then he said he don't subscribe. Subscribe. Yeah.
But this week, we went to the WW Studios.
Yes.
And I was not excited about it because we had Mother's Day last weekend.
And barbecue.
And we did barbecue.
Ooh, good barbecue though.
Yes,
good barbecue.
Good barbecue last weekend. And I was a little worried because I'm like, I didn't get a chance to do my workouts like I want to because the weather is still not being conducive to working out outside. But to our surprise, I went down a pound.
Me too.
Yes, well, you actually went down 1.4.
1.4.
So,
I went down 1.4, family.
And for our people across the pond, it is kilograms.
Yeah, but at a different rate.
I'm not sure what the conversion is.
We don't know about
kilograms.
Yeah. But I feel good that we went down. Now I didn't do what I said 2 or 3
you
pounds.
Said 3 pounds.
But I was close. I was 1.4.
That's not close.
1.4.
That's not close.
I was close. That's close.
I'm not even gonna make a promise because I have no idea what my body's gonna do for the week.
I know that's right.
I do my best.
I know that's right.
I get up, I do my workouts in the morning. I do the best I can.
But I think we did pretty good because we had that walk at the farm. They have a farmer's market here in Omaha that's huge, and we walked it. And it was really good.
And so that really helped us a lot.
Getting
those steps in helps a lot.
I want to go back to it, but
we're gonna go back.
Yeah, we're gonna go back.
Till October. We're gonna go back. Operating until October, so we're going back.
Yes, we are.
All right, so now let's hear your news.
Yeah, let's do that. I know Greg got some other stuff going, so yeah. All right, so I got a lot of news, y'all. I got a lot of news, dog.
All right, let's see what the is.
Now, Chris Peterson is the man that we all know started Fantasy Flight Games. Now, I love the man because he gave me some great games. But when Asmodee took over the company in 2014, he became the CEO of Asmodee North America. Well, in 2018, he left to go do some other stuff. Now, Fantasy Flight Games has like a huge like gaming center that's 1,700 square feet in the Twin Cities area, and it is like the mecca of like gaming. They have so much stuff going on there, competition stuff. Convention. It's huge. Now, we've heard that Mr. Chris Peterson has bought the place. He bought it, and now he's going to change the name from Fantasy Flight Gaming Center to the Gaming Center.
Zenta?
With a Z.
Okay.
Not a C for center, but Zenta.
Okay, I'm not sure why we're making a new word, but
But I would love to see what happens, because I do, if I ever go toward that, Twin Cities, I definitely want to check it out, because I've heard a lot of great things when Fantasy Flight was running, but when he's getting a hold of it, it might be even better. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Zenta.
Zenta. Game Zenta.
Got it.
Game Zenta. All right. Now from Staller.
Okay.
I'm just Staller. From the publisher of Big Potato and designer James Vaughn, they made a party game called Mean Girls, the Party Game. It's due out June 1st, 2021, where you kind of be a mean girl.
Oh, I was not into
and doing
mean
some
girl.
stuff.
I'm not into mean girl movies or anything like that. I just don't believe in that. You have to be mean.
Yeah, you don't have to be mean. But I don't know why that's still so hot.
I don't know.
Why you want to be mean?
I think some people think it's funny, but I don't get into that kind of humor.
Yeah, so I just, if y'all like that sort of stuff, it's coming out, y'all. Yeah. Now, in October 2020, Renegade Game Studios made a partnership with Hasbro.
Okay.
For some, to create some games with some of their, well-known IPs. Now, some of the IPs is like, Transformers and Power Rangers and things like that. All right. So now, in May 2021, Renegade is coming out with Transformers, the deck building game, and Power Rangers deck building game. Now, I'm not really into the Power Rangers, and I know Grant is, but I'm really into Transformers.
Yes.
I love the Transformers.
I love the first three movies. They kind of started losing their way.
No. This is going to be after the cartoon that we love.
Oh, the cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's going to be after the cartoon.
I love the cartoon.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be cool. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Too.
Now, on the cons scene, because now since vaccinations are into the mix and things are getting a little bit better.
Our entire family is vaccinated.
Yes, we are all vaccinated. we own it. Now, Gen Con, which is happening in September 16th to the 19th this year, their badge registrations is happening May 23rd.
Okay.
Now, they're going to cap attendance at about 30,000, 40,000, because it's usually around 70,000.
Oh my gosh.
So they're going to cap it. Now, how they going to do things and how they going to make it work, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Because let me tell you something. The UK Gaming Expo, which is happening on July 30th to August 1st, now they're going to be like the first major con to really do some in-person gaming. But listen how they got their stuff set.
Okay.
Now, here's some of the conditions that you gotta go for.
Okay, we're talking about the UK.
We're talking about UK.
All right, UK.
That Gen Con and some of these other places in America need to look at.
Okay.
Now, this is what the UK Gaming Expo gonna do. Now, everyone has to be vaccinated.
Okay.
You got to have proof.
Okay.
All right. Then you have to have the vaccination 24 hours before you attend.
Okay.
All right. And then they're going to do all the different, precautions, social distancing, and they're going to wipe down stuff and make sure you have some sanitizer and stuff like that. But they call it play with confidence.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that. And they said their people are going to get tested, the staff going to get tested. So it's really, they're going to lock it down.
Yeah.
Now, and I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I like that.
We know what it takes to socialize together and be safe.
Yeah.
The main thing, sanitizing and covering your face with a mask, not your whole face, but your mouth and nose, so that you can be comfortable and not worry about getting sick.
But if you're vaccinated, I think,
Well, if you're vaccinated, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping people will be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Had some
but
fake vaccines.
Yeah.
Around,
You gotta be honest.
So just to be on the safe side to protect your health, because that's really important. Just wear the mask.
Yeah, just wear the mask. But I'm glad that you gotta have proof.
Yes.
To go in and say, hey, I am, vaccinated.
I like that.
So I hope Gen Con and others here in America kind of look at that and see what's up, because we need to be safe, y'all. We gotta be safe.
It's your health.
Yeah, it's gotta be safe.
It's not about anything else but protecting your health and the health of your family.
But it's good that the science is proving that the vaccines are doing well. So that's a good thing. Now, Isaac Childress of Gloomhaven fame and the upcoming Frosthaven, which I can't wait. I just love and can't wait for.
Gloomhaven.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, he put out a statement on May 14th. That was May 14th, saying that he wanted to get the narrative right culturally.
Okay.
Because biases can creep into games and what you're doing stuff.
Yes.
So culturally, that could have an issue. And he said that he has some issues with Gloomhaven, like that. His biases kind of snuck into it. And he wants to fix it. So he's definitely going to try to fix it in Frosthaven by hiring a cultural consultant. And this gentleman's name is James Mendez Hodge.
Okay.
Now, he was on the episode with, Jason Perez that we know, and I love his fabulous shelf story series.
Yes.
I love it. He does a lot of good things. Yeah, hey, Jason, you do some good stuff with that. And he was on an episode on that talking about, cultural, issues. And he was also on an episode of Ludology, which is pretty cool. I love that little podcast. I love it. Now, he's going to check the biases that might have snuck into Frosthaven just to see what's going on. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
We need to do that. I do applaud, Isaac for doing this.
Yes.
And also his team.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have to do. We gotta
I love
work to
it.
try to make things better for everybody.
Yes.
I mean, the way we've been operating in the past, we've had errors.
Yes.
Things have been wrong. But the best thing we can do now is to try to fix it.
And I love how Frosthaven is going to have a lot of people of color kind of contributing. From Ella loves board gaming. Ella, she's gonna put. She did a scenario, and also Marcus Ross, who is a designer here, African American designer here in Omaha.
Yeah.
He's gonna contribute. So I mean, I love how he's gonna do that. So I'm really really happy about that. So that's pretty cool. That is really, really cool. But that's my news.
That's the news.
That's my news. So we can move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it's time to get into the heart of our episode.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too.
I just want to talk a little bit about Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders.
Do your thing.
Everybody contributes to this world.
Yes.
As I always say, humanity is a co-op.
Yes.
We all bring something to the world. And I have to be selfish. I really love the food. Thank God for Asian American Pacific Islander food. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's good stuff.
So good stuff. Thank you for that contribution.
Good stuff.
And
good
fashion.
Stuff. Yes.
And just style and different things you guys bring. I just love it. I mean, we just have to work together and we have to accept everybody.
Yes.
And that's how we're gonna be a great country going forward. So one thing I want to talk about, just a few notables. Most people probably know these names. If you don't, here's a chance for us to talk about a few notables.
Yes.
Now, one person I want to talk about, which because of him, we're sitting here today.
We're doing this.
We're doing this.
Yeah.
And that is Steve Chen. Steve Chen is the co-founder of YouTube Inc. and he is Taiwanese.
Yes.
Now, another person is Larry Itleong, and he helped with the farm workers' rights, and he helped organize the Delano grape strike. Now, that was back in the 20s and 30s, but he still made a major impact because he worked alongside Cesar Chavez.
And I didn't know that.
Yes.
I mean, that was amazing that I was like, man, they were doing, because, Chavez was doing his thing.
Yes, he was.
And so I was like, they worked together.
Workers,
oh, man.
Get their rights. And so.
And I heard that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And he's Filipino.
Yeah.
We have another one that everybody knows.
Everybody. And I love her stuff.
She is just it when it comes to wedding dresses and fashion. Yeah. And that is Miss Vera Wang herself.
She do her thing.
And she is of Chinese descent, born in the U.S. American fashion designer, Vera Wang. And last on my list of notables that I just wanted to throw out there, and that is Padma Lakshmi.
Yes.
Hope I said that right.
Hope so.
She's an author, she's a model, she's a TV host, but you probably know her from Top Chef.
Yeah, but she be messing over folk on Top Shelf,
I
man.
love Padma.
I be mad when she be messing over them folks, man.
And Padma is Indian American. So I just wanted to throw out those names of people who have contributed to the culture here in America, the fabric in America. And I mean, there's so many people we could have put out there, but again, we've got contributors.
Yes.
And we want you to hear from them. And next up are our contributors. I hope you enjoy it.
Come through, family, come through.
Hey there, happy American, Asian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. My name is Senfeng Lim, I use he, him pronouns, and I am a freelance board game designer, developer, and RPG writer from London, Ontario, Canada. You can find my name on the co-design credits for games like Belfort, Akrotiri, But Wait There's More, Junk Art, the Coda Chronicles series, the Kingdom Rush series, and many more. You can also find me co-hosting the Meeple Syrup Show and the Ludology podcast. So that's who I am in gaming, but I wanted to tell you a little bit more about my culture and my heritage, because that's what we're celebrating this month. So, ethnically I am Chinese, and nationality-wise I was born and raised in Canada. But my parents didn't actually live in China for very long, and that's part of my story and part of why it's important to understand about the Asian diaspora. So my grandparents on my mom's side, they lived in Hubei, which is a landlocked province where the Wu-Tang Clan is from. No, seriously, it's true. And then my dad's family is from Hainan, which is a tropical island that is just to the east of Vietnam. And they are famous for Hainanese chicken rice, which is delicious. So during the war, my grandparents on both sides fled China and they escaped to the south. And they ended up on an island called Borneo. And it is this giant bear-shaped island in the middle of the South China Sea that is so large, it is the third largest island in the world, that it is split up three ways between Malaysia, Indonesia, and then the sovereign state of Brunei. And that is where my parents grew up, in Brunei. And so my culture really isn't Chinese, really isn't Canadian. My culture is actually a combination of Chinese, Canadian, and mostly Malaysian and a little bit of Indonesian. So that's who I am. And I think it's important to talk about who we are as people because diversity is very important to me as a game designer. Personally, I want to play the coolest games with the most interesting themes. And if board games are art, and I think they are, and if art is supposed to reflect life, well, my life is chock full of lots and lots of people of color. And the games I play should include them as well. As designers, as players, as themes, all those types of things. And I want to see more people of color designing games specifically so that they can share their stories in as authentic a manner as possible. So my goal as a designer who is also a person of color, in this case Asian, I want to help new designers from marginalized groups be visible and be vocal. So I want to boost their signals, I want to support their projects, and I want to help them make connections in the industry so that their games can get created. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is tell you about the 3 games that I picked for this. I picked I'm the Boss by Sid Saxon, Jenga by Leslie Scott, and Jiangshi Blood in the Banquet Hall by Banana Chan and myself. And I'll tell you why I kind of, did a little self-insert there. So first of all, I'm the Boss is a wonderful negotiation game where you're yelling and you're screaming and you're throwing cards at the table as you try to take the biggest piece of the pie for yourself. Love it. It is visceral, loud, and obnoxious. It's great. And then Jenga is really just the perfect product for me, from the jingle, you take one from the bottom and you put it on top, to the old style box where you could use the box edge to straighten out your game. And then you're putting it away and it's packaged back up and you can play it the next time perfectly. It's wonderful. I love Jenga. And the last one, Jiangshi, is really important to me because it tells the story of immigrants and how immigrants moved from, in this case, China to Canada or United States and thrived despite all the oppression that they faced. So I think that is a very fitting game for the month of May. Happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Month to you.
Hi friends, I'm Ruel Gabiola. I'm a board game writer, podcaster, live streamer, and co-host of Good Looking Kickstarters. I live stream board games with my family and friends on Tabletop Tonight over on Twitch, and I hope you'll join us sometime. As a proud Filipino American, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month mean a lot to me and my family. Diversity and inclusion in gaming are important to us because we believe that gaming is for everybody. My wife Michelle and I think of our daughter, nephew, and nieces and how we want them to feel comfortable playing games and be accepted and welcomed at any table. I've played games with all kinds of different people from all walks of life, and I live by the golden rule. I treat others with respect, and I expect that to be returned to me. If we can respect each other at the table, then I believe we can respect each other away from the table as well. I love introducing non-gamers who are people of color to board games by teaching games that I believe are similar to ones that we've all played. Like Monopoly? Let's play Machikoro or Monopoly Deal. Or if you're into dominoes, why not try King Domino? It's important to bring games that non-gamers can relate to, whether it's a familiar game style or play, or it's a theme that they're excited about. So if they enjoy drinking tea, maybe they'll like playing chai. Or, are they sushi fans? Let's play Sushi Go. My games constantly change, and in honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I'm highlighting 3 of my favorite games by Asian designers. First up is Fantastic Factories by Joseph Chen and Justin Faulkner. This is a dice placement game and engine building game that's been a hit with all of my friends, whether they're new gamers or veteran gamers. It's just a great, fun game, plays in about 30-45 minutes. Highly recommended. Trains by Hisashi Hayashi. It's the perfect combination of deck building and networking. I love the theme. You're connecting trains throughout Japan, and it always makes me want to travel back to Japan, one of my favorite countries that we've ever visited. And finally, Aquatiri by Senfeng Lim and Jay Cormier. This is a pick up and deliver game that also features tile laying and this really cool market mechanism where you're trying to deliver goods at the right prices in order to get the most money, and you're trying to discover these temples throughout the different islands. I love introducing this to gamers because they're always surprised by how deep this game plays for such a small box game. It's one of my favorite 2-player games of all time. Before I go, I want to shout out my fellow Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Be safe and take care of each other, and learn our history. Larry Itliong, Vincent Chin, Mine Akubo, and all of the people and moments that define us. To paraphrase Jose Rizal, if we know history, we'll know ourselves. Thanks Mick, Starla, and Grant for everything you do to make the gaming community a more welcoming place for all of us. I'm sending y'all much love from my gaming family to yours.
Hi, my name is Monique.
And I'm Naveen from a channel called Before You Play, and welcome and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yes, thank you so much for having us, and we are here to answer a few questions. Are you ready?
Yes, let's talk about it.
All right. So question number 1, how do you encourage people of color who are non-board gamers to play board games?
Okay, yeah, this is something that we can definitely relate to.
Yes.
My family, definitely. My parents, I think the best way to encourage my parents specifically to play board games is if I can relate it to a theme that has to do with India, because we are Indian. And so one of the big games that they enjoy playing, and one that we got them for a gift, was Jaipur. It's a 2-player game. Once we taught it to them, they were instantly intrigued by it because of the Indian theme. It is based off an Indian city. And so that is one of the ways that we definitely try to encourage people of color, like my parents, to get involved.
Yes, and so that is kind of like a general theme that we both kind of utilize for both of our families, really, and some of our friends who are not typically hobby board gamers. Just finding something that they can personally relate to, something maybe having to do with their culture or just their walks of life, their way of life. And so for my sisters specifically, we're Filipinos, so we have a card game called the Food Truck Champion.
Yep.
And it has a few cultures in it, actually, not just a Filipino food truck, but in some of the cards have Filipino cuisine. And so the first time I showed off that game to my sisters as well as the rest of my family, they spent a good 10 minutes just looking through all the cards and saying, oh my gosh, they even have this, they even have that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then that was a way for them to get intrigued into playing the game, and then subsequently other games. So just about finding that one thing that they can relate to is really important.
And so why is diversity and inclusion in gaming important to you?
One of our goals is to increase the hobby, is to increase more faces and get more people involved into hobby board gaming.
Sure, yeah.
And we also want to, give off the message that board gaming is for everybody. It's not just for a specific subset of people or a specific culture or this or that. It's for everybody.
Right.
And so in order to send that message, you need to have a diverse, array of faces and artwork and themes and cultures, just everybody represented. And so that kind of goes along the lines with representation and why that is important. Similar to the way that it's important in media and just in seeing, your face out in media. It's very similar in the hobby board gaming space for me. How about you?
Yeah, exactly. So kind of like we said in the first question there, that's a draw for other people to kind of get involved and be more interested in games. So when you have a more diverse array of games that focus on cultures and different backgrounds, I think that's always a good thing. The world is made up of a bunch of people from different cultures. So to me, that's very, very important.
And what are 3 of your favorite games and why? Now, we have a lot of commonalities in our interests. So why don't you go first?
Sure. Okay. I would say Jaipur. That is a game that I really, really enjoy. The reason being, we play a lot of 2-player games, and so that is a 2-player only game. It's pretty quick. It's very easy to teach, but it's something that you can just pull off the shelf real quick and put it away real fast.
And now you can play with your parents.
That's right. Yep.
Right?
Okay. And another one?
I would say Lisboa.
Yes.
So the both of us are really into heavy Euro games, heavy strategy games, and that is a pretty crunchy game by Vital Lacerda. I especially love that it is based in Portuguese culture. It's something that historically happened in Portugal, and so thematically it's nicely intertwined there. But it just gets your brain going, and it's just a really, really crunchy experience.
Yes, it's a good challenge.
And finally, what is one that we kind of share, would you say?
Well, this is one that it's finally back in print. It's called Ginkopolis. And so this one is completely language independent. It is a interesting game. There's an area control aspect of it and a hand management part. That's really, really fascinating, and there's a lot of tension in that game.
Yes.
And so that's one of the reasons why I really like it. Well, thank you so much, Mick, Starla, and Grant for having us. We really, really appreciate it, and we hope you're having a great day.
Happy gaming! Thank
Bye.
you!
Hi Mick and Starla, thank you both so much for having me, and of course for Grant for editing this video. I am so honored to get a chance and opportunity to be able to participate in the celebration. First question, how do I encourage people of color who are non-gamers to play board games? I do like 2 things. The first one is relatability. I try to introduce a game that has like similar mechanics to games that they've already been exposed to. If they only know card games, then I'll try to introduce like an easy card game. But if they've played Monopoly, then I'll try to kind of slide in and tease some, gateway games with like resource management. The second thing I do is accessibility. I'll encourage them to play a game and oversimplify it just to get the whole, foot in the door phenomenon that I tried to capitalize on. I was actually teaching Dwellings of Eldervale the other day, which is a super, super complex game, but instead of bombarding them with like all of this information for 10 minutes, I just said, all right, it's your turn. Put a worker on the board. That's it. And then I kind of just layer these steps as we go along. So like from there, you get these resources, and then here's a second step that I can introduce now. Not only can you place a worker, but you can also bring them back home. And then I kind of just play around with that. It becomes like our practice round where I'm just adding step by step until they feel comfortable with the gameplay before we dive into full-on, full-blown rule to the rule gameplay. I do that all the time, and it gets people hooked. So accessibility and relatability, especially when those games you're correlating have similar cultural mechanics, like card games are, essentially hand management, and that is really a general mechanic for Cambodian games too, that makes card games easier to teach. Secondly, why is diversity and inclusion in gaming important to me? Well, I have always hated the feeling of exclusion. Exclusion does nothing for anyone, and I've been on that end as a student, as a person, within a friend group, as an only child. So ever since I was on the receiving end of that, I kind of made a somewhat of a vow to myself to do the best I can to never reciprocate that feeling to anyone else. It is not okay, and you feel devalued as a person, and you kind of just break people's motivation and goals for no reason. That's why, as someone who loves gaming as much as many of you, and as someone who is trying to have a good moral compass, I of course 1000% want everyone to feel like they have the same opportunity to enjoy that experience as much as anyone else. That's why diversity and inclusion is important to me. And to wrap up this segment, 3 of my favorite games currently and why. Top of my head, at the moment, is definitely Red Rising for one of them. You know, no other game has made me learn to be as adaptable as that, essentially a card game. Yes, I made videos on it, I've talked about it before, but it seriously has creeped up and passed my expectations way further than I thought it was gonna be. It's so fun, so satisfying, so addicting, and just really enjoyable to play. Secondly, I would say is Aquatica. That one has a really incredibly satisfying, card sliding mechanism, and the whole combo generation thing and kind of just doing things back to back on your turn. It just feels like you're firing off actions back to back. I love that, and of course the theme is insanely cool. It's a beautiful theme. If only, though, I had a underwater rig and board games, were waterproof, I would totally capitalize on this idea that I have for filming this underwater scene for Aquatica. And lastly is a game I hope I'm not annoying too many people about, but that is Marvel United. I have never opened up a board game so often to just play solo until that game came along. And as a bonus, I get to enjoy it with my favorite heroes. Gameplay wise, it is amazing, it's accessible, and in terms of theme, well, it's Marvel heroes, come on. That's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again to Our Family Plays Games for everything that they do and that they bring to this amazing community. See y'all later.
When I introduce games to anyone, I make sure to choose the right game. For non-gamers, it should be easy to learn, look good or interesting, and have a theme that's interesting to them or a game mechanic that they all might already be familiar with. I like to show them games that have the same rules or mechanics as classic games in their culture or background. For example, Mahjong is a set collection game. I might introduce them to Sushi Go. It makes the game more familiar and accessible. Also, when I live stream playing games with people of color, it makes it clear that we belong, and I hope it inspires others to join the hobby. It makes it a safe place for me, my friends, and family to have fun in the board gaming hobby. I love playing games, and the more ways and places I can find to play games with people, the better. It also grows the hobby. With more diverse voices, we can have more diversity in the games we play, which means that more people can find the right game just for them. This was hard because I love so many different types of games. But the first one I chose was Takenoko. I love pandas, it's cute, it's great art, it's easy to teach, and I can play with just about anyone. The second game I chose is Macaron. It's a fun twist on a trick-taking game with a bit of a strategic surprise. It's good for all player counts, including solo. It has cute art, and it's by Tate Wu, who's a wonderful designer. Anyone who's played a trick-taking game like Spades can pick it up very easily. And lastly, we have Nyctophobia. It's a fun one versus all game where everyone but the vampire is blindfolded and they have to communicate clearly with each other, explore the map through touch and memory alone. I love the story behind the game design. They designed it for their blind uncle. It's a wonderful example of how diversity can bring amazing new game designs to the hobby.
Hi, I'm Sepi with Fight in a Box. One of the great things about the Twin Cities is that it's a gaming town, and that means gaming events show up all over the place, and you have an opportunity to interact with Muggles. I've gotten to do gaming events at the Science Museum, brew pubs, and at the Mall of America. The great thing about being a person of color and gay at these events is I get to see all these other people and they get to see me. And that's really important. Gaming is a gateway for us all to be able to come together. And I'm super excited that Our Family Plays Games invited me to do this video. Okay, I was asked what 3 games are my favorite currently. And I'm gonna say, number 1, our game, Mouse, Cheese, Cat, Cucumber. Not only did I get to participate in making this game, but my co-designer and the developer, the Yang brothers, are all Asian, and so it's Yoon Yang Yang who made this game. It is also super, super, super fun, and probably the most game you can have for $13. Now, sales pitch aside, the number 2 game on my list would be Point Salad. Now, I know it's not new, but it's still my favorite, and I've gotten to play it a lot during the pandemic recently because it's on the new board gaming platform Sovereignty, and I've been doing a lot of online board gaming. So there you go. And the third one that I would choose as a game designer is the crew. Now, I never thought in my lifetime somebody was going to make a trick-taking game that gamers would be excited about. The chutzpah of the crew making it happen and making it cooperative. Really hats off to these guys. I love this game. Thanks again. I'm Sepi with Fight in a Box, and thank you to Our Family Plays Games for celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Oh my goodness.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
Cool.
You know, but
Yeah.
we have to say a personal thank you to
Yes.
all of our contributors.
All of them,
I know
family.
I'm not going to have this in order, but I'm going to say their names
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
And I want to say a special thank you to Ruel Gabiola,
Yes.
Sepi Yoon,
Sepi.
Senfeng Lim,
Sin, what's up?
Tim Chuan,
Tim, that's family.
Amanda Panda.
Yeah, Amanda,
and
we love you.
last but not least, Monique and Naveen from Before You Play.
Boy, they be doing them teachings, man. They be teaching.
I just
Boy.
want to say thanks again. We really appreciate you guys coming through. We sent out an email to our Asian American and Pacific Islander people that we knew in the hobby.
Yes.
And pretty much everybody came through.
Yeah.
So we're so grateful that you guys said, hey, we're going to help OFPG celebrate our culture.
And y'all all family, you know, we love y'all.
Yes.
All of y'all. We love
we
you.
do.
And y'all just came through for us like I knew you would. I knew they would.
So
They just
thank you guys again. We appreciate it. Much love.
Much
OFPG.
love. Love y'all. Love y'all.
But before we go,
Yes.
we got one more thing to talk about.
One more, y'all. One
Yes.
more.
Yeah, what
well,
are you talking about?
Robert Searing from, you kind of know him from the Dice Tower.
Yes.
He does some work for the Dice Tower, but he also owns a board game insert company called Insert Here. Yes. And he sent us a whole bunch of inserts so we could check them out.
he did.
They're pretty good. They're pretty cool. I love inserts.
Yes.
You need to bling out. You gotta help
Anything
out.
board game related.
You gotta help me out. You gotta help me out. But Robert also said for the OFPG family, he got something special for us.
Discount.
A discount.
Now, I love discounts.
So now after you buy 2 regular price inserts with $39 each, you put in this code OFPG25. Again, that's OFPG25, and you'll get 25% off your whole order. So that means if you get the 2 that you gotta get, and you get some more stuff, put in that code, 25% off everything. There you go, family. You get a little deal.
Yes.
Get a little deal. And Robert, thank you for the deal. Thank you so much for helping out our family. Yay.
Yes.
Yay. So that's really cool there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I think that's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's the show.
That's it.
I know you guys had a good time because we did.
Yes,
So
yes.
I really hope you enjoyed it. And be sure to check those people out. I mean, check out their
them
channel.
out. Check out their channel. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be sure to check everybody out. And
Yes.
I think that's it for us.
That's it for us. That's it. That's all. So,
Yeah.
Starla, where can they find us at?
Well, if you're looking for us,
Yes.
you can find us right here on YouTube.
Yes.
Thanks to Steve Chin.
That's right.
So who's the co-founder of YouTube?
Yes.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yes.
Sometimes on the Dice Tower.
Sometimes on that Dice Tower, yeah.
And if you're in Omaha,
Yeah.
you can find us locally on Cox Channel 22
On the TV, y'all.
at 8:30 p.m. on Saturday
Yeah.
and 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yes, we on TV.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
That's it. So, family, we love y'all.
Yes, we
Be
do.
safe. Contact us. Talk to us. See what's up. Hey, also, if you have some news you want to share, let me know. Put it in the comments or just send it to us,
Via email.
Yay. Let's hear from you. We love talking to y'all. So be safe, family. We love you.
Everybody, bye.